Hey yo, you're listening to Toasted Time, where I cook your time with some Reddit stories. Right now, you're being toasted with some r/PettyRevenge, where in the end, a Karen gets held up waiting for a driverless car. But before that, we've got coworker is territorial about their shared desk. I'll just make it worse. Our office is a hybrid post-pandemic, and to cut down on costs, we now have a shared desk situation. The only people with permanent desks are the higher-ups or people who come in full-time. My coworker who shows up about 2 times a week still treats her desk like it's her own personal desk, even though our whole team is supposed to use it. She's a bit of a grump and never removed her personal items and pictures, even though we were asked to. 90% of the time we just leave her desk alone because it's too annoying to deal with her complaints, and our manager basically avoids dealing with her because she's such a headache. But there are many times when there just isn't many open desks, so I have to sit at her desk and things get moved. Of course, nothing major, just the usual stuff with a shared desk. But of course, she always complains and whines and tries to make us feel bad for using her desk. A few weeks ago, it got to be too much, and someone else sat at her desk and adjusted a lot of things, and so she blew up at me. I told her I hadn't sat at the desk, but she just whined about all the times before. I was done. So, for the last few weeks, whenever I go past her desk, I make sure to move something or unplug something, and it's been pissing her off so much. The best moment came yesterday when she was freaking out because her laptop died mid-meeting. She is not great with technology and was freaking out. Of course, she called IT, and when they came, they simply pointed out that her power cord was loose. I wonder how that happened. Our IT guy has a way of talking which was perfect for the moment because he basically walked her through a step-by-step process of plugging in the cord while everyone else could hear. She basically looked like a moron for not knowing how to check if it was plugged in, and I couldn't stop smiling. And then someone down below points out a really good point. This coworker is a pain, but the manager is the real problem because solving problems like this is exactly why they theoretically exist. Time to start dumping the coworker stuff onto the manager's desk. Yep, the manager chose to be a manager. Time to manage the situation. Maybe they didn't choose to be a manager, but they're a manager now, so they need to live up to it. And then we get a conversation from an IT guy down below, starting off with Mapeline. This is priceless, Lamau. IT guy here. If I like you, aka you're friendly, respectful, etc. during your other interactions with me, you'll get a discreet explanation of what happened. Power cord was loose. A gentle reminder of how to prevent this in the future, and no worries, it happens to everyone at some point. Encouragement so you don't feel like a total moron. If you're an A when you asked for help in the past, you'll get called out so everyone can hear what a moron you are. So essentially just everyone in the entire office is getting malicious compliance on her, except for some reason the manager isn't doing the job so that this wouldn't be happening in the first place. But yeah, everyone, including the IT guys, getting malicious compliance, making her like a moron with the power cord situation. Anywho, very fun. Moving on. And now, on to the next revenge. Accepted a lowballer's offer and had them meet me at the local pub. When I list something on Facebook Marketplace, I do it with the intention of selling it basically right away. What does this mean? It means my price is low, sometimes too low, and firm. I don't budge on price, but that has never mattered. They always buy it at the full price anyway. I absolutely hate getting 50 "is it available" messages. When I get one of those, I just delete and ignore. A few days ago, I was selling a set of new take-off tires/wheels. MSRP was on the $2,500 range. Used prices were in the $15 to $2K range. I listed these at $1,000. Within an hour, I had probably 20 messages about them. My response is always the same. The price is the price. I will not hold them. First come, first serve. One of the guys who messaged me offered $250. These are a slow sell at 2K but a near instant sell at 1K. There is no world where 250 was an appropriate offer. So I told him that my word for word, punctuation for punctuation response to his offer was no. But that didn't stop him. He justified his offer by sending several listings showing other tires, etc. So I blocked him and moved on. Fast forward 10 minutes and I get another message from a different Facebook account with the same offer. This guy was now using a second Facebook account. So I blocked his second account. And then he did it with a third account. I was done at this point. Clearly I couldn't win by just blocking and moving on. This guy was relentless. His strategy was to literally annoy the living crap out of you until you just said yes, and blocking his accounts wouldn't work. Who knows how many accounts this guy had? And so, I did what any other sane person would do, and accepted his $250 offer. I told him I would take his $250 offer, but that he would have to meet me later that night, as I was currently busy. He said that he was about a 2-hour drive from me, and asked to meet halfway. I said no. He was eager to make a quick buck off of me, so agreed to drive to me. There is a street in our town that has a few pubs on it. 3 of these pubs are within a half-mile of each other, kind of set up so you park on the street and you walk between them. And these pubs are usually busy by 11 p.m. And by busy, I mean there is zero parking anywhere. You usually have to park at least a half-mile away and walk to the pub. And so I did what any sane person would do and set the meeting for 11 p.m. at one of these local pubs. I sent him a message at around 10:45 p.m. and asked him to meet me at the pub and we could walk over to my truck and grab the wheels/tires. He messaged me at 11 p.m. and told me he was out front. There is no way to park out front without blocking the entire street, and traffic is usually heavy at 11 p.m., meaning he couldn't just wait out front. He would have to move. And so again, I did what any sane person would do and waited about 10 minutes after 11 p.m. to message back. In that 10 minutes, I received no less than 20 messages from him. And these messages painted an amazing picture as he grew more and more frustrated as he sent screenshots of his location asking if he was in the right place as he kept telling me he would drive down the block and circle back. You get the point. 10 minutes later, I sent a simple, "Sorry about that, didn't see your message. I'm at the bar in XYZ pub, just park and come in. I'll grab you a beer." He accepted the offer, parked what I assumed was a half-mile away, and walked to the pub. 10 more minutes of me not responding, and 20 messages later, I sent a simple, "Sorry about that, didn't see your message. I walked down to PDQ pub, probably 500 yards away, thinking you may be there. Meet me down here?" Fast forward until right around midnight. I had made this man drive 2 hours one way, walk at least 2 miles, and go into all 3 pubs and curse me every way to Sunday, and he was still 2 hours from home. So, I did what any sane person would do, and turned off Facebook notifications and went to bed. Oh, and the wheels and tires sold earlier that day for exactly $1,000. Someone who goes by Sly Fox in a Cave says, "As a sane person, my final response would have been, 'Sorry, but I couldn't wait any longer and had to go home. It's pretty late. You understand, right? Let's try again tomorrow, same time. Bartender just gave me $1,000 for the tires. Sorry.' Or, gave me $255, so I just went for the better offer." That's funny. You know what? As a sane person, I'ma hit the upvote on that. That was a good story, and I liked it a lot. Very good, very good. Alright, on to the next one. And now, we've got a Karen waiting for a driverless car to move in. You are going to have to move if you want my parking space. On Friday, I was waiting to pick up my spouse from a medical appointment. He emerges limping and sore from a guided injection in the hip, and he slowly gets in the car and he tells me how it went. I start the car, put it in reverse, and wouldn't you know it, there's a driver who wants this space. Cool. Will they reverse to give me room? No. So I wait for them to move. They don't. I wait. They wait. This is also in a busy road and it's angle parking nose in. Still waiting. Been over a minute. So I decide we need milk. I turn the car off and tell my spouse to sit tight and let me know what happens. I come back out to him chuckling with a huge grin on his face. I ask well? Turns out impatient Karen blared on the horn twice and finally drove forward and realized there was no driver in the car. Blares the horn again and sped off. First time I've been this petty in a while. And then, someone who goes by ITR Cool has a responding comment that is in accordance with what we just read. Was at the mall back in high school. Got back out to my car, started it up, and shifted to reverse. Karen driver shows up, clearly wanting my space. Aqua Jeep Wrangler backs out at the same time I'm backing out from across the parking aisle, but waits just enough to block the aisle because neither of us can back out all the way. Karen driver's blocking me, and as a result, I'm blocking the Jeep. We're both staring at the Karen to get out of the way, and the Karen driver, instead of backing up to give us both room to back out and pull away, she keeps inching forward, staring at me, wondering why I'm not backing out all the way. She's giving me less and less room to back out. Eventually, I pull back into my space and Jeep driver also pulls into his, and we wait. We're both staring at Karen driver. She keeps staring at me, inching forward with her signal light on. She eventually huffs and flails her arms and zooms away up the aisle. Jeep driver backs out and then leaves, and I leave next. To which someone below that points out a very aptly comment, there are really so many people out there with zero thoughts going on. And then someone below that, the comment from IT, someone also points a relating incident. Visiting mom in the hospital, peak time, spent 30 minutes tailing around the 3 cars parked, spot an old man heading back to his car, so dutifully pulled to the side to let people get past me, indicating to show I'm waiting for his space. 2 cars overtake me whilst guy gets in his car. 3rd car starts to overtake whilst he's reversing, keeps inching forward, and after he reverses out of the space, the 3rd car just pops herself straight in the space. Absolutely livid. In true British fashion, honked my horn at her for a solid 30 seconds and went hunting for another space. Just your typical day of bad drivers. Or, well, maybe not bad drivers, just impatient people. Like they can't back up because that'd be taking time away from being able to park instead, right? Or just bad drivers. Anywho, well, that's about it for those stories today. But if you enjoyed, please like and subscribe to become a fellow breadbag. But aside from that, of course, I hope to see you in the next time toasting session. But until then, have a good one.